Hello everyone. Today we have taken very important and basic topic that is characteristics of living organisms. This topic we have taken from diversity in the living organism. So, welcome to this living world as we are uh, going to understand the characteristics of living organism. In this topic, we are seeing that the living world is comprising of human beings, animals, plants, then birds, and microorganisms. So, first of all, we have to understand what is living. Actually, and before living, we have to know what is life. Actually, life is a unique, complex organization of molecules expressing itself through chemical reaction, which we call as metabolic reaction, metabolism. And this leads to the phenomena of growth, responsiveness, reproduction, adaptation, and so on. And thus we can say that object by itself exhibiting these properties, that is growth, development, reproduction, consciousness, metabolism, is designated as living organism. So we reach at point to know who is said to be alive. Alive is one who exhibits growth, who can reproduce offspring, who exhibits the phenomena of metabolism, showing anabolism and catabolism, adaptation, who have cellular organization, showing homeostasis, that is regulation of internal environment, then heredity of traits, respond to stimulus. So we can say that the characteristics of living organism are as under. On the left hand side, there are the basic characteristics of a living organism, that is growth, reproduction, responsiveness, metabolism, cellular organization, and so on. And on the right hand side, there are apart from these, there are also the properties of characteristic feature of the living, that is homeostasis, heredity, adaptation, lifespan, and movement. So we shall study one by one. So far as the growth is concerned, by growth we mean, in simple words, it is increase in mass or number of cells or individuals by the process of cell division. And this growth in plants, it is continued through their life, whereas in animals, it occurs up to certain age. However, that does not mean that it does not continue, cell division does not continue for the maintenance. Actually, it continues for replacement of lost tissues. So, this growth we also observe in the non-living. We are seeing this sand dune, then there are this snow mountains, crystal, and but this type of growth is external. हम देख रहे हैं कि एक लेयर सैंड की एक लेयर पे दूसरी लेयर जम रही है, इसी तरह स्नो में भी ऐसे एक लेयर पे दूसरी लेयर है. तो ये हमें एक्सटर्नली शो हो रहा है. इट इज नॉट इंटरनल, इट इज नॉट इंटरनिस्टिक. Whereas in case of living organism, they show intrinsic growth is intrinsic, which occurs through various metabolic activities, and growth is irreversible in living organism. And thus we can say that growth is the characteristics of living organism, but not a defining property of the living organism. Well, now next very important is reproduction. Reproduction is the ability of an organism to produce young ones for the continuity of life. Actually, it occurs by both the measure, that is sexually and asexually, and sexually it is with the help of gametes involving two parents, whereas asexually with without fusion of gametes, and it involves only one parent. And we observe asexual reproduction in lower organisms such as bacteria, fungi, hydra, spirogyra, etc., whereas sexual reproduction is observed in higher plants and higher animals. And this we see that how the sexual reproduction is taking place. Human beings, they produce male producing sperm and female ovum, and both fertilize to form zygote and ultimately give rise to new baby, that is offspring. And how the so plant showing sexual reproduction, it is pollination taking place, and after pollination, how the male nuclei and female nuclei, they combine to form a new plant. And there is in the lower diagram, it is a fragmentation, that is asexual type of reproduction, and it is being shown in the different organisms, and this is the budding in hydra, which is also a type of asexual reproduction. So in case of, there are some also unicellular organisms where growth and reproduction are inclusive event. We can say it's synonym. How it is synonym? Let us understand. When a unicellular organism such as um, amoeba or paramecium, they fission takes place, actually the number of cell increases. So we can say number of individuals increasing. One amoeba gives rise to two amoeba, and this is increasing number. And by the definition, increasing number, we also say it is the growth. So growth is both where it is the increase in mass or in the increase in number. So when the increase in number takes place in unicellular, it is said to be growth. So it is reproduction as well as growth. So reproduction and growth are synonyms. Whereas in the multicellular organism, and reproduction and growth are mutually exclusively events. And we observe that no non-living object is capable of reproducing or replicating itself. Now, there are some organisms which do not reproduce, but they are living. We say here is the mule's trial, which is the outcome of this interbreeding of this female horse and male donkey. He cannot produce offspring. Similar is the case of with worker bees who was trial, and they are infertile human couple who are living but do not able to reproduce. It means reproduction is not essential for the living. But means it maintains the continuity of life, but it cannot be uh, set as the defining property or the defining feature of living being, because they are living uh, they in spite of non not producing offspring, they are living. So it is not said to be the defining property feature of the living organism. So the next very important characteristics is the metabolism. Metabolism is the sum total of all the chemical reactions, sum total of all the activities which are occurring in our body in a living cell. All the activities such as growth, movement, reproduction are all due to the metabolism. No non-living objects show metabolism, and metabolism includes both anabolism and catabolism. Whereas in anabolism, two smaller objects combine to form a bigger one, such as carbon dioxide, water. In photosynthesis, we say that it forms carbohydrate. That is the anabolism. And catabolism means how the bigger substance break up to form smaller. That is in the respiration, how carbohydrate break up to form carbon dioxide and water. So and energy. So all these metabolic reactions, they lead to this different growth, movement, and all the features. So metabolic reaction we can also observe in outside the body cells, that is in vitro culture. Here we in there is test tube or in a beaker we combine two chemicals, and also the reaction takes place. But this in vitro this phenomena, it is non-living, whereas the reaction actually is living. So we can say in proper way, metabolic reaction inside a cell is the defining feature of the living organism. So next most important characteristics are responsiveness और consciousness. हम देखते हैं when we कि हम कोई चीज़ टच करते हैं, गर्म चीज़ को या ठंडा चीज़ को, कैसे हम हमारी सेंसेशन हम कैसे उसको ऑब्जर्व करते हैं, तो हम कह सकते हैं एबिलिटी ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म टू सेंस देयर एनवायरनमेंट or response to their physical, chemical, or biological stimuli. And these stimuli are perceived by our sense organs like eyes, ears, nose, skin, etc. And these responsiveness or consciousness is not sophisticated in the plant. I mean, they are not sophisticated sense organs in plant. They respond to external factors such as light, water, temperature. In the diagram, we say that how light is affecting this movement of this plant, how the growth of the plant, and it also we can observe this responsiveness by the way of increasing or decreasing their rate of transpiration, opening and closing of stomata, and turgidity, wilting, etc. So we can say response to stimuli, that is awareness or consciousness. It is a defining feature of all the living organisms. So one more characteristic is that human beings, which they have the additional feature of self-consciousness or self-awareness. They are very particular about himself or herself. How am I looking? What other people say about me? That is, he very, very careful about himself or herself. So human beings have an additional feature of self-consciousness. Now next, coming to the cellular structure. And we know that the cell is the basic, fundamental, and functional unit of life. So our whole body is made up of cell. So body organism consisting of cell and their products. Moreover, all the metabolic reaction, as we have already read that, understood, that also occur inside the cell. And since we can say cellular organization of the body is the defining feature of the life form. Apart from this, the other characteristics of living beings are adaptation, lifespan, homeostasis, healing and repair, movement, heredity, variation, etc. So, coming to conclusion, we can say living organisms are self-replicating. It means they are reproducing to produce young ones, evolving, then is showing metabolism, that is anabolism and catabolism, self-regulatory interactive system, that is homeostasis, then capable of respond to external stimuli, that is responsiveness, awareness, consciousness. So it is all about the basic characteristics of living organism. Now, thank you. Next we meet in the next video again.